Hello and welcome to Dave's Delightful Dishes. And as always, I'm Dave, and it's a delight for me to be here with you guys today in my kitchen. And today I'm doing a special surprise for my wife. I'm making eggplant Parmesan lasagna. It's as cheesy as it gets, so it's something specifically I'm making for her. And I'm hoping you guys like it too. So what we have to do is we got several ingredients. It's not as crazy as you think, but it does have a bunch of stuff. First off, we have 3 medium eggplants, which we're going to slice into quarter-inch slices. Get to that in a minute. A tablespoon of olive oil and salt and pepper to taste. 3 cloves of garlic. 2 teaspoons of oregano. 16 ounces, but I'm making a big one, so this is the container I could find today of the ricotta was only 32-ounce ones, and I don't know when I'm going to use it again, so I put the 32 ounces in. If I end up having to throw some out, so be it, but I got a feeling I'll end up using it all. 4 cups of mozzarella, and 1 onion, yellow onion, chopped, a 1/4 cup of parsley. This one's off of my planted parsley, but you can get that at the store too. Chopped. You got a cup, which I've divided in 2 places, of freshly grated Parmesan, because I'm using some in one part of it and some for toppings, so that's why I separate it. 1 container, 1 jar, I think it's a 25-ounce jar is the normal size of them, of marinara sauce. Now, if you make your own, that's even better. And I haven't done it in a while, and I really need to get back to it. Don't worry, that video's coming. But in the meantime, this is from the store, and 25 ounces of it, just a plain marinara. I wouldn't use a meat sauce in this one. And 1 egg. And those are the ingredients. So let's get started. You need to have a couple, well, you can use a knife, but I've got a mandolin. So I can slice my 1/4-inch slices of this eggplant on the mandolin. Now, they all come with a guard, and by goodness, use them, because what they say with these things is, it's a pretty sharp knife. And as you're going back and forth, there's nothing like having a nice slices of eggplant followed by nice slices of hand. It's not if, it's when. So try to reduce that when by using the guard every time. But after that, we end up making these nice 1/4-inch slices. So I want you to just slice up all 3 of these eggplants, and once they're sliced up and in a pile, I'll get back to you, and we will go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, well, we're just finishing up here. And as you can see, you end up making some pretty nice 1/4-inch slices. And then you got the end pieces, which I don't keep those, but I'll have them on the side right now in case I need them for something. Okay, so I got to clean up this workstation a little bit, and then we're going to bring out a cooling rack so that we can start getting the moisture out of these eggplant slices. So what we got to do now, we've got a cooling rack, and I just got it on a tray to catch the drips. Although I do have a granite countertop, so if the drips go underneath on the table, that's really no big deal too. I can clean them up. And this is going to be some of them. And I have multiple racks, so I'll be doing this with a bunch of different ones. But I just want to show you the one. So we're laying these guys out. And we are going to sprinkle some salt over the top of them all. Once we've done that, we're going to let them sit for 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. And you can look at these and you can see that there is moisture coming up out of the eggplant. And this is important because if you've ever had really runny lasagna, like a runny vegetable lasagna, that's because somebody didn't drain this first. Now, the other thing you could do to take care of that would be to, bread and fry these, which honestly isn't a bad way to do it. But my wife asked me to fry things less because she's trying to be a little healthier. So I'm doing this way. Basically, since this is a treat for her, I want to make her happy. But now we got to flip all these over. And we're going to get them salted up again. And obviously, I got to do it to all of them. So now we've seasoning both sides, and we're going to pull some more water out. And yeah, this is the most time-consuming part, or this is one of the more time-consuming parts of this recipe. But you know what? You got 20 minutes. Set an alarm. Go read a book. Watch a clip on YouTube. Like maybe one of mine. They're all under 20 minutes. Go hang out and do something else. Go out and take a walk, and then come on back, and these things will be ready. And I'll see you then. So while our eggplants are doing their dewatering, we've got some time here. So I'm going to get all the other components ready. So all we got to do is make the lasagna once they're set. So I have the ricotta, and I'm going to add the half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan to it, and an egg, which I'm not going to get the shell into the ricotta this time. Yes. Parsley, quarter cup. I'm going to leave a little bit. No, that's all going in there because it's, I'll put Italian seasoning on the top for a garnish. And some salt. That's a heavy pinch. And then a nice grind of pepper. And now I got to stir all this together until it's well combined. And I've got these little thumb holes, which are really nice on my mixing bowls. A little bit more pepper. And the pepper and salt are to taste. So if you're not a big pepper lover, you can go light. If you love yourself some pepper, you can add a whole bunch. And, I'm going to describe this because, you got to explain it like something. To me, this looks kind of like with the egg, now it looks kind of like a loose egg salad. But that's a good consistency that we're looking for. You can see it's still pretty firm, but it will run a little bit. And the eggs can help everything keep together when we're cooking. So this is now ready to go. And the next thing we're going to have to do is get over to the cooktop because we're going to get the sauce ready. All right, so I've got a saucepan here heating. And we got to put 1 tablespoon of oil into it. And let that warm up for a second. And then you know what's going to happen here. The onions are going to do what the onions are going to do. They go in. And we're going to sweat these. Let them give up some of their moisture. Let them turn translucent. And the garlic is going to go in as well. As this usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes a little bit more. These are chopped, so it might go a little bit quicker. And once those are ready, we'll move on to adding the last of the stuff for this. These have softened up, gotten aromatic, and they are starting to brown a little bit. So it's time. Let's add in our oregano. And we're going to put in some pepper. And a pinch of salt. Give that a quick stir, just to wake up all the spices. And then in goes my marinara. All right. I'm going to bring this down to low heat. And stir that together. And then I just want to bring this up to where it's just simmering. And then this, once it's simmered, is going to be ready for use. So we're just going to get it warm, and then it is ready to go. And this is going to take about 10 minutes, and that's about the same time that it's going to take for us to finish off with the eggplant. Maybe even a little sooner. Look how quick that's simmering. So I will see you back for the putting everything together. Okay, all of our components are coming together. Let's finish off with the eggplants. So it's been 20 minutes on each side. We just want to give these guys a pat down, and then they're going to be stacked for use. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me pat down every eggplant, but I'm going to take care of the rest of these and just get the moisture off them. There might be a bunch, there might not be. Just try to dry them all. At least towel dry them off as much as you can. And then we will start assembling. All right, assembly time. We're going to take some marinara and spread it around on the base. There we go. And if you like your lasagna like extra saucy, feel free to add more, just put another jar of sauce in and use as much as you need. You don't want to feel like, oh gosh, I'm going to run out. So once that marinara is down, now I'm going to put down a layer of the eggplants. And if you got ones of different sizes, you can really kind of work it in there. And now I got to put in some of the ricotta. And you kind of spread that around. After the first layer, it gets easier to stick stuff on. But that first layer, because you're basically just on the bottom of a glass baking dish, or metal if you're using a metal one, it's not as easy to spread this stuff. But I tell you, I think that 32 ounces is the right amount for this size dish. I don't see how you would have these giant layers that I remember from seeing people making lasagna over the years. So there's the ricotta, and now we're going to spread out a layer of mozzarella, shredded. So now we got 3 cheeses in here. And then on top of that, put some more marinara. Spread that out. And if you got any empty spots, just fill them in. There we go. And here comes another layer of eggplants. Another thin layer of ricotta. And depending on how thick your dish is, you can keep on layering up however many layers you need until you are out of ingredients or out of space. Get leftover ingredients, it's an Italian dish. Just make a second one. And I've got a pretty good feeling, especially if you use this for a company, that this is going to be something that gets eaten quite a bit. And here comes my shredded mozzarella. Perfect. And the last application of sauce. Let's take what I got left here. Now here's the nice thing about having a rubber spatula. I can waste not. Just go ahead and get the last of that all in there. And spread it around. And this is all going to cook too, so it's going to cook together. But you don't want to have any spots that are just completely void of an ingredient. And now a final layer of eggplant, and you may have noticed I'm kind of doing a different pattern every time, and that's intentional. I want to try to get maximum coverage. So that's set, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put a big coating of cheese on top of this. There we go. That's the last of those 4 cups. Spread that around. And then don't forget that half cup of your Parmesan that you got left over. Get that spread out too. And then now that that's ready, put a little crack of pepper on top. And then what we do is we foil the top of this and we put it in a 400-degree oven for 35 minutes. All right, 35 minutes have elapsed. And it is quite warm. Let me go ahead and take this foil off the top. And as you can see, everything's melted. It's come together. I'm sure the eggplant is soft. But this right now is not a solid mass. So this has to sit and cool for a little while before you serve it. And we're going to let it do just that, 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Just enough so that it's not steaming at me anymore. And then we'll take it over to the workstation and we will cut this up and plate it. All right, it's cold enough. It's cooled enough now that I can just touch it and the cheese and everything's come together. I mean, there is still some liquid in this because obviously there's going to be. There's a lot of oils coming off of the various cheeses that I have. But it looks definitely like the egg has helped quite a bit in solidifying it. Now, if you're doing a big amount, maybe you want to add an extra egg. Wouldn't hurt. And I've cut a little corner off here. And that slides on in. You know it's good when the mozzarella makes strings. And then, of course, I have to give myself a little garni. I made a little basil floret there. And look, it's pretty delightful. This is definitely something you can make at home. It's not the quickest and easiest because, it's a layering process and there's a lot of things that have to come into it. But it's no harder than making any other lasagna. So give it a try. If you wanted to, you could add meat, but I'd say this is a pretty good option for a vegetarian, a lacto-ovo vegetarian, or at least just a meatless dish. And I think you and your family will be pleased. Enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else to do. And also check out my Facebook page because you can find neat things like my merchandise there, as well as updates. And as soon as I have someone else to take pictures of me, some behind-the-scenes footage. So, if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe and tell your friends. And I hope to see you guys at the next one.